What's up, Inner-Tubers? Let's go play some video games. Alright. So, I spent today... I think when we last spoke it was late. Oh, my mic's really far away. I might have just got louder. Deal with it. We just gotten home last night from looting the Poppin' Pills General. So I did a bit of soul searching today while I wasn't playing. I wasn't really searching for my soul. It's just a turn of phrase. But I did a little bit of exploring. Kind of trying to look in this area. I also ended up finding this road. I followed it. Desert. This was a tight ridge. And there was like an underground cave there. Found the only real thing I found of significance was this part right here, which took this up to 27, which would make it better than the bow, but it is not better than the crossbow. And I don't want to get too mired up in dealing like switching back ammo types. At any rate, but the reason I was out there is in my first season of, while we're talking, the airplane, it's over there, I promise. There's an airplane drop like right there. Airplane came overhead, and I figured we would go get that and have a little chat about our intentions for this series. So if you weren't here for the beginning of basically this channel, I did 50 episodes. What the crap? What happened? That was weird. I did 50 episodes in Alpha 15, and in those 50 episodes, we took over and transformed a prison into our own personal base. I'm going to have to put a marker where I remember that being. It was roughly here. So we're going to have to do some swimming. We'll have to leave the bike on the shore, but that's okay. We can do that. Oh, I saw. Hey, be quiet. Thanks for the lamb thanks for the lamb rations. But we took over, fortified, and converted the prison POI into our own personal base space. Let's swing this down. Whoa, ever so frightening to do so. I saw this tree stump. I want to see. Nope. Okay. And then in Alpha 16, Season 1, the Ruffles seed. Oh, we're heading right for a house. These little cut-ins are strange looking. And we took over that house. We were squatting up in the attic, and we knew from the beginning that that was temporary. And here we've moved into a brick building. Oh, it's still falling. How about that? Or is it falling? Wow. Interesting. And then I had been thinking about going over to that next town over and finding a POI that was centrally located near a bunch of stuff we want to look at and moving into it. And then I got to thinking. That means that all my episodes are just, a lot of looting. Oh, hi. A lot of looting and just kind of reinforcing another POI with more than likely the same method of dealing with zombies. And then I got to thinking, the YouTubers that I like to watch that... Oh, what have you... That's our trader over there. The guys that I like to watch, they have a nice healthy mix of spending time looting, but then they do a lot of like freeform building. And it's been a while since I've done that. And I'll be the first one to admit, it's not my forte. But I want to do it. Because I think it would be more entertaining for you. And I play the game for my enjoyment, but I post the videos because it's fun, but I also do it for your enjoyment. Oh, where did our bike icon go? Don't scare me, game. Did we just lose our bike? We were directly across from there. That would be a bummer. Hey! You stay out of this. So, I think over there, I mean, look at how flippity-lippin' flat that is. That's a bush. Is that our bike next to a bush? Oh, the icon's back. Shwoo. I don't think I've noticed that before. At any rate, I mean, let's get back up on the... Oh, hi. Oh, okay. Okay, you can go. Look how flat that is. Is that not ideal for doing some freeform building? I think it is. Oh, don't fall off of the cliff. But that puts a couple of things on the table. The only downside, let me crouch and we'll look at the map again, is it's all this plains that I don't love. But so that's why I was looking around trying to see if any of this changed biome, and just barely right here. These go across this same river that we're looking at out there. And there's mountains here, and the roads kind of go up and disappear into them. So, you know, something we can explore for sure. But there was that other trader that we found out there that's kind of a little bit in between the two larger towns right here. So perhaps we just pick a spot, plant a flag, and build a base right there. And we'll likely do some kind of combination of... can we do it? Yeah. Above ground and underground. This is difficult. Oh, right in your deer butt. Get to the beach. No. Don't go too far. Haha. Man, I need to change my internet handle to Mr. Sniffles. Alright, I'm sorry about that. Where's... There it is. Okay. Alright. So that's what I'm thinking. So let's go drop off a couple of things. Pick up a couple of things. Can we get up that? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Alright, around the corner. Oh, I also finally had a proper scout through the next town over to the west. And Humpty Dumpty, is it big? It is like Hub City sized big. It's like from the old school, like, you know, Alpha 15, and whenever Hub Cities came around, they'd always been here since I started playing. But you know how there was always just humongous. It's definitely laid out different, but my gosh, it's endless. Endless. So let's see. We got a couple of weapon parts, or a weapon part. We got that to put away. We got some foodstuffs. Food. Medical supplies. Ammunitions. And general. So I have all this cobble. Let's see. We have a hammer. We'll take the hammer. We also have, I've been putting some metal trussing together in anticipation of just a moment, of just this type of moment, I should say. Oh, that might be a witch. So let's just get out of Dodge. Don't care. See you later, bye. Alright, let's, we gotta fuel this. Oh, we're getting low on gas. Might have to disassemble some vehicles if we come across them and get some gasoline from them. Oh yeah, so let's look. So, traders here, we can kind of check this area out. And I want to kind of scout for flatness. But there's really, I mean, really all that's left in that town. There's a couple of large things, like obviously that big thing. That thing with those lighthouse looking things. Sorry if I just sounded muffled. My nose was itching, so I was scratching it. Jeez, look at that place. It's so big. But that's kind of all that's left there to look at. We've got the mini bike, so we're relatively mobile. Alright, so this is kind of that central spot, but it's got these big rocks. I don't want to deal with those. I hate dead trees. Hey, let's go look at this. Let me see. I haven't really looked at that town. I don't know how big that is, but let's go check this out because it was friggin' adorable. But I did look kind of over near where the trader is, which is on the other side of that town. And it is just wicked, wicked flat. We could also entertain the possibility of moving here into the forest because it still seems pretty flat. But one benefit to being out in the plains is the view, the line of sight. We get the city lines that really look good on the horizon. They did a great job with that. So look at this little community. It's just like it's an agricultural place that I found flippin' adorable. There's farms everywhere. Oh God, got stuck. Look at that. They even got free range stags. It's like all farms. It's such a, I don't even think I've ever seen that lazy H before. Alright, let's head back this way. I do want to get a proper look at, oh man, I feel very jittery. Oh, hey, how are you? Can I have all your gasolines? And that, I guess. Maybe you'll give us something good as well while we're doing it. Let's see. We're going to go have a look through this because I think I've only made one quick pass. That must be it straight ahead. That's definitely bigger. Well, that might be part of where we're at. I don't know. We get anything cool? No. We did find a new... You were with us when we found the wrench. Yeah, we got that at the Poppin' Pills General. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is all part of this town. It still just looks so agricultural. It's like a little farming community. It's so cute. It's so cute. And downtown. Okay, we got downtown over here. A little burger spot. We got a Shotgun Messiah and a Poppin' Pills. You know what I haven't seen yet in Alpha 16? I have not seen a proper working stiff store. Like the standalone one. Oh, look, it's another Poppin' Pills General. The one that just was the common stores that you'd find. Not these little, the ones where all the brick stores are lined up, or the big mega store. I haven't seen big mega store either. But the only working stiffs I've seen have been the little tiny mini ones that only have a couple of things in them. There's some burnt forest here. Hey dear. Oh, I missed you. I have talked about living in a burnt forest. It's got a crazy atmosphere. But we won't. We won't. Because I don't want to deal with this kind of haze all the time. That's too much haze. Even if your name is Isaac. So let's get over here. Another Joe Bros Builders. Okay. There's lots of those. Another, that must be the, yeah, that's the Crack-A-Book. Those things are apparently common. Is there a real value to these, or is that just they look cool? Like, are they worth looting? Really? Well, this city's pretty well Detroited out. Oh, somebody exploded. Hey, bunny. Bye, bunny. Ooh, jeez, the lag spikes. Oh, somebody else exploded. That's interesting. Had the door into the rubble pile. Okay. Man, this city is just decimated. But the parking lot's intact. That's importante. Gotta have somewhere to park when you visit a city like this. And poopy pants and the fire station. And ooh, that's a house? These new houses are flipping huge. All right, is that the whole thing? All right, I got completely derailed here. We see it all? We saw it all. All right, so back to the issue at hand. Kind of out here. In fact, there's a forge house right there. And oh, wow! I did not plan that. Someone dropped that building right in front of me, you jerks. Anyways, let me get over there, and I'm not gonna keep waffling while I run through the snow. Is this a road? Huh. Okay. Well, it looks like we're just about out of the snow. In a momentito. Like right now-ish. These big rocks, they almost look like POIs sometimes. Alright, so we're back in this nonsense. This looks like there might be a really gentle slope. So that's our trader. And then if we go... maybe just a touch... yeah, it was over near this forge house, which is an actual forge house. Has a functional forge in it. Which is probably not all that useful to us. But, you know, it's a thing. And then if we come kind of up in this region. I don't like these big rocks, but we could tear them out, I suppose. But it's very, very flat. We can even get up close enough to where we've got like a killer view of that giant city right there. And oh, dang cacti. I always have to make a mental note when I back up. Alright, I've backed up twice. Gotta add that sound effect twice. Breaking the fourth wall. That's not true, I don't add it. My bike really does that. Yours doesn't? Your game's broken. Yeah, if we like could park somewhere in here, we could over time knock all these trees out. We could knock these big boulders out. And how truly flat is this? It's a little bit elevated because we're getting the dimples. So we're making a dimple there. Whoops. Oh God, I hate all the lighting options. But like, how far can we go? Like, the elevation is not changing. This is super flat, which would really be conducive to building right here. Don't you think? I think. I mean, the only time we've seen it pop up is when it hits a bush. We're getting a little different. Alright, so that slopes very slightly up, I guess. Yeah, now we're getting like into the proper, like it's barely gonna change the elevation. And how long does that go on? I mean, I've already covered way more ground than we would ever need for a base, right? So, do we just pick a spot and go for it? Like clear out an area, clean this area up. I mean, how much cleaning up could we do? Could we, I mean, realistically, could we tear this stuff out? It would change the elevation if we were to replace all of this with, like, whoa, what am I thinking of? Like the ground. Like, could we just build a bunch of grassy ground, and would we actually get grass? Does it work that way? Or forest ground? Could we greenify this? That'd be worth trying, wouldn't it? I think it would. I wish, oh, that's where we started, right there, huh? So is this where we plant the flag? Are you gonna try to get involved here? Be part of the city planning committee? This is unincorporated territory. I'm outside city limits. Leave me alone. Sandwich. Do we do it? You give me some feedback on that. And we plant the flag with a save waypoint. And right here. Build here. Build her. Weird science. What do you think? I'm going to have to make this episode a little bit shorter. My only hesitation is I don't like the terrain. But I don't want to drag this on for too long. Like, we got to get going. I want to start playing with all the electricity and the traps and the Queen and I actually started a kind of base design that was like the whole thing was on stilts, and I thought that was kind of a fun idea, which is why I started making all the metal trussing, because you got to make sure it's strong enough that if they take out a pillar, the building doesn't collapse. Everything is redundant. There's a lot of redundancies down below. And then you can still do like a fighting arena like we've got right now. You just put it in the floor of your base, and you have a horde area. Or if you just don't want to deal, or for in the beginning, because that's easy. Eventually, I think I want to do like the toothy design. If you watch Games for Kicks, you know what I talk about. If not, then eventually, if you look it up, I think it's a pretty common base style or horde arena style thingy. Ooh. All right. I do want to do that, so we'll get a little more intimate with the Zombinos. But I also want to have just some kind of fire and forget, maybe a couple different types of things. We'll do a fall trap somewhere we could just, essentially AFK and just let them just die on their own if we don't feel like dealing with it. I'd like to have options. I don't want to do the same thing every time. I don't always want to be shooting through the floor, because that gets dull. And I need to do some building. If I'm going to hold your interest, I think I need to do some building. Give you something else to look at other than exploration and looting. Although those two things are a big part of this game, the other big part of this game is building. Anyways, I'm starting to repeat myself a lot. We probably won't talk again until day 15 would be my best guess. I'm going to spend probably tonight, maybe, and tomorrow. I think we're pretty well ready in here. This thing didn't really take too much of a beating, I don't believe. Whoa, what happened? Oh my goodness. Yeah, just one spike. Do I have spikes? I don't have spikes. One spike and some repairs, and that'll be fine. That won't be too hard to accomplish. I do need to put a wood ramp in there. I'm going to make that ramp right now, because I'm going to keep forgetting about that. Give me some wood. Wood, frame, ramp, craft. Yes, please. And there's some spikes in here. And some scrap in here. Alright. And then I'm going to spend some time. I'm going to explore. Maybe look a little bit more over in this direction. See if there's something over here that I like. But let me know your thoughts on the things I've said. My only real draw to this spot is it's very flat, and we've got the views of both of these big cities and things in these cities to loot, lots of looting opportunities. But we can always, like if we move here, these places aren't far away. And maybe there's other stuff over here that we just haven't noticed yet. So give me your thoughts, and you can do that most effectively by playing with the interactables. But while you're down there, stay classy.